order of the Sacramento Air Quality Management District on September 23rd, 2021 at 9 a.m. If the clerk could please call the roll to establish a quorum.
Yes, sir. Director Aquino. Director Daniels.
Here.
Director Desmond. Director Sue Frost. Director Guerra.
Here.
Director Harris. Director Kennedy. Director Loloe.
Here.
Director Natoli. Director Papanao.
Here.
Director Cerna. Director Singh Allen.
Here.
Director Terry.
Here.
Director Vang.
Here.
I don't think you might have heard. I think I had myself on mute. Sue Frost is here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Virginia.
Great.
And we have
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, could everyone please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Well, it's a great sunny morning here today. If the board clerk could please read the announcement.
In compliance with directives of the state and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the physical location of this meeting is closed to the public, consistent with state guidelines on social distancing and California Executive Order N2920. Members of the public are encouraged to participate in the meeting by observing the meeting in real time at www.sacmetrocable.tv, Zoom video conference, and by submitting written comments electronically by email at boardclerk@airquality.org. Comments submitted in person will be delivered to the Board of Directors by staff. Public comments regarding matters under the jurisdiction of the Board of Directors will be acknowledged by the chairperson and accepted until the adjournment of the meeting, distributed to the Board of Directors and included in the record. This meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District is cable cast live without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Local Government Affairs channel on Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T U-verse cable system. This meeting is being closed captioned and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will be repeated on Saturday, September 25th, 2021 at 2 p.m. on channel 14.
Great. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk here. Members, thanks to everyone. Good morning. As is customary, I want to remind our viewers and everyone that you can go to sparetheair.com to find out what your current air quality level is. You can find out what yesterday's is and then what the prognosis for tomorrow may be. And today we're looking at an AQI of 87, which is still moderate. Tomorrow, it looks like we're going into above the 100, 112 estimated of unhealthy for sensitive groups. And yesterday it was unhealthy for sensitive groups, but it's looking a little better today. So all that to say is that Clean Air Day is coming up on October 6th, and we can all do our part to improve the air. With that, we do have closed session later today. We have a few discussion items and a number of things that our staff, air pollution control officer, has to update the board. But it's a pretty light agenda, but we do have to get into closed session. We're tight on quorum today, so we're going to try to crank through this before 10 o'clock so we don't lose our quorum before closed session. With that, Madam Clerk, if we could go to the first item on the agenda.
The first item is the Air Pollution Control Officer's report.
Good morning, Dr. Ayala.
Good morning, Chair Guerra, and good morning, board members. It's good to see you all. Thanks for joining us. If we can bring up the slides, please. And while we do that, thanks for the update to the board on the air quality conditions today and the forecast. I'll make a note that as we see particle pollution get better, because thankfully the impact from the fires is decreasing, what we are dealing with in days like today, where we have a lot of heat, a lot of high temperature, is ozone pollution. So just a reminder that our air pollution challenges come in different flavors, and it's never a dull moment. If it's not one thing, it's another. But anyways, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Board. I have a few updates for you on a few things. If we can go to the next slide, please. The first one is simply to share for you all. Obviously, Chair Guerra was a participant in the event, as you can see in the picture, so he's aware of this. I'll invite him to add any comments after my report, if he'd like. But I want to share with the rest of the board that we had a very nice public event where Congresswoman Matsui joined us and Lion Electric, the Twin Rivers School District, and a number of other important stakeholders in the region. And we really got together to celebrate a significant accomplishment for the region. Twin Rivers School District has, thanks to the work of many stakeholders, and especially our agency that has facilitated the procurement of these electric school buses. Twin Rivers has the largest electric school bus fleet in North America. And we're going to keep going. And it is a significant achievement that we got together to reflect on and celebrate. But as good as that is, let's do reflect on the success. But let me offer a challenge to this board. Let's aspire to try to get 100% of all of our school buses to be electric in our region. So we continue to work with every school district. We're working with San Juan District and bringing school buses to Citrus Heights. We're working with Washington District and West Sacramento and taking some electric school buses in that direction. But let's not stop there. Let's try to work together to see if we can get every single school bus in our district to be electric. So let me leave you with that. Next slide, please. Speaking of electric, one of the biggest challenges we as a region, as a state, as a nation, is the electrification of the heavy duty sector. I think Director Harris has done a great job convincing us of the viability of passenger cars going electric. And that is a given. The toughest challenge is how do we get to zero emissions on the larger vehicles, the trucks, the equipment, the garbage trucks. And that is really a tough nut to crack. We see significant developments on battery electric solutions, but there's another important solution that we also think that needs to be supported, and that is fuel cells powered by renewable hydrogen. And coming up next week or a couple of weeks in the wake of Clean Air Day, Hyson Motors is going to do a demonstration on the 8th, the morning of the 8th, here in our region. And I believe that the night before, they're going to have an event on the steps of the state capitol. So I want to put this on your radar, put it on your calendar. It'd be great to have you come out and quote unquote, kick the tires so that you can see firsthand this also pretty amazing zero emission technology that again is a different flavor. It's fuel cells powered by renewable hydrogen. Next slide, please. The next item is a simple reminder. You should have seen this in your inboxes from our clerk. A significant development. It was a coordinated strategy that our partner agencies and us worked on. So Sacramento RT, SACO, SMOD, and ourselves got together and commissioned our technical teams on the development of a strategy. And that is, what are the opportunities for our region when it comes to electrification of transportation in the context of the significant investment that we all expect to come from the federal government to try to get to zero emission transportation. And when we got together, we identified these four priority areas, and it's pretty significant again because it's a very unique coordinated effort, right? This is not just the air district saying this is where we need to go, or SACOG, or it's an integrated strategy. And you can see that we've identified some really key areas where I hope we can capture your interest so you can help us because this technology is coming to your district, and we want to continue to work with you and provide the information so that we can have you as a champion of some of these developments. Transit buses, again, I talked about trucks, e-mobility hubs. The first one is in the Del Paso area, but we want more, and obviously the California Mobility Center. So hopefully you've got that package in your inboxes, and if you need more information, obviously we're here to provide it. Next slide, please. And then kind of turning from the incentive world, the programmatic world of promoting clean technology and the transformation towards more modern, cleaner options. Of course, as a regulatory agency in the region, there's also regulations, and I just want to provide some perspective for the rest of you who did not attend this particular site visit to one of our businesses. In the picture, you can see Supervisor Serna, Chair Guerra, and Director Laloy. We took them out to visit this particular business. The state is updating the regulation that limits the emissions from chrome plating businesses. And clearly, we're paying close attention because this is going to impact us. It's going to impact us as an agency. It's going to impact our businesses that are going to be subject to the regulation. It's going to be impacting our permitting program. So obviously, this is the other side of the shop that we track very closely. So the point of the slide is simply to make you aware of the myriad of different issues and programs that we as an air agency are trying to keep close tabs on. So with that, that concludes my APCO report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair Ayala. I do want to thank both our board members, Serna and also Laloy. They came out to a number of these tours and visits. I think that the big takeaway is all the efforts we're doing to keep our air clean, but at the same time, it was a very conscious discussion about how we're improving our economy, supporting our local businesses, and all of these 3 points, particularly looking at our regional strategy for infrastructure. When we deploy all of this, it also involves the supply chain and a lot of our local contractors who we can employ for work to do a lot of the retrofits here. So very positive. I wanted to note that also Elk Grove Unified is now the second largest fleet in the nation with electric school buses. And we've got Natomas Unified and also Sac Unified jumping in there. But Board Member Laloy, I don't know if you wanted to have any comments there. I know it was a very uplifting day with also seeing how our Amazon trucks are being electrified as part of this Lions project as well.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, that the day that we visited the site, it was a very learning experience. I'm really proud of what Sacramento is accomplishing, really setting the tone, not for the rest of the cities within our state, but actually nationwide. So very excited, and thank you to all the staff and all the individuals that have played a very important role on this. So we're headed the right direction. We just need to grab a little bit more money so we can help businesses to make that modification too. So thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Appreciate that. Any questions for the Air Pollution Control Officer? Madam Clerk, I don't see any hand raised.
Mr. Chair, can we get a copy of this PowerPoint that Dr. Ayala just went over?
Yes, Madam Clerk, can we send that PowerPoint out to everybody?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I think it's a great one that we could all use just in our own discussions. We'll go on to our next item then.
The next items are the consent calendar. There are 3 matters. Item 1 is the August 26th, 2021 Board of Directors meeting minutes. Item 2 is the Board of Directors meeting schedule for 2022. The third item is hearing board vacancy notification.
Great, thank you. Let me, I'll take an action from the board here.
So moved.
It's been moved by Board Member Vang. Is there a second?
Second.
And seconded by, did I hear Folsom say that?
Sing Allen, but I.
Sing Allen.
that's
Okay,
my-
there we go. Yeah.
It's
board
okay.
member singing. Yeah, okay. That was a quick one. Madam Clerk, any comments from the public?
Not at this time.
Let me bring it back to the board then. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Director Aquino. Director Daniels.
Aye.
Director Desmond. Director Frost.
Aye.
Director Guerra.
Aye.
Director Harris. Director Kennedy.
Aye.
Director Loloe.
Aye.
Director Natoli. Director Papanao.
Aye.
Director Cerna. Director Terry.
Aye.
And that's
Great,
Paul.
that measure passes. Fantastic, thank you. Madam Clerk, we'll go on to our next item here in the discussion calendar.
It is item 4, Clean Cars for All program update by Cindy Mann.
Well, good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Chair Guerra, Vice Chair Kennedy, and members of the board. I am Cindy Mann. I'm a program supervisor in our Transportation and Climate Change Division, and I oversee the Clean Cars for All program. I have the pleasure of speaking with you today about our program. I'm going to talk a little bit about some general program principles, program successes to date, benefits of the program to participants, benefits of the program to dealerships. Going to highlight a few partnerships, and then I will be joined by our program manager, Rafe Porter. And Rafe will be talking about a few issues and further analysis of our Clean Cars for All program. Next slide, please. So general program principles. Our Clean Cars for All program is an incentive program for income qualified residents of Sacramento County to scrap their older, higher polluting vehicles and replace it with a zero or near zero emission vehicle. The overall purpose of the Clean Cars for All program is to reduce vehicle emissions by accelerating the replacement of these old vehicles with cleaner vehicles. This acceleration will help the state meet its 2030 climate change goals. Now, the program's guiding legislation aims to focus the benefits of this program to low-income and disadvantaged communities. It has a heavy emphasis on consumer protections, education of the new technologies, and coordination with other clean transportation programs. From an air district perspective, we also see this program as a way to further create economic stimulus to the Sacramento County region. Next slide, please. So talk a little bit about program successes. So to date, we've awarded 466 Sacramento County residents with award letters. That ends up being about $4.1 million for those 466 awardees. The average income is $32,326. To date, 408 of those awardees have gone to one of our participating 29 dealerships and purchased a vehicle. One of our program goals is to award over 50% of our funding to participants that live in disadvantaged communities. Now, you may be wondering what an average retired vehicle looks like or an average replacement vehicle looks like. So the average retired vehicle is a 2001 model year, about 198,000 miles, and gets about 20 miles per gallon. The average replacement vehicle is about a 2019 model year, average purchase price of $29,000 with an average amount financed of $15,000 at an average interest rate at 5.37%. Now, with that vehicle, the miles per gallon equivalent is about 112 miles per gallon. So on average, we're replacing 20-year-old vehicles with almost 200,000 miles and 20 miles per gallon with a new vehicle with less than 75,000 miles and averaging 112 miles per gallon equivalent. So our participants are definitely seeing savings in the fuel department. Next slide, please. and talk a little bit about the benefits to our participants. And I really feel like the testimonials that we've received from our participants says it best. And I encourage you to read the quotes that are on the slide from our participants. This program has allowed historically marginalized groups, demographics typically left behind when it comes to emerging technologies, to become early adopters and stewards of an electric vehicle movement, a clean vehicle movement in disadvantaged and low-income communities. They can show their neighbors the vehicles, take them for a ride. They get to charge, show them the charging on the vehicle, so they become commonplace and not so foreign. And again, our participants say it best. I just know that it feels good waking up and getting in my new car. It makes me happy, Loretta. This has been a really bright spot in my life. The things have happened to all of us, but just the fact that something like this was available and came to help me when I really would not have been able to get another car on my own, especially something that is so much better for the environment, that came from Jesse. This isn't just an incentive program, it's a community resource. It's emissions reductions, cost savings, and a boost to participant morale, public health, and family safety. We're replacing 15 to 20-year-old vehicles with an average 4 to 5-year-old vehicle with drastically improved safety features and fueling economy. Next slide, please. Now, this program hasn't just benefited our participants, it's benefited our dealerships. You may remember last year when the pandemic first started and businesses were closing down, car dealerships were having a hard time selling vehicles. And our program provided a boost of sales during this time to our participating dealerships. This program is increasing a tax base for Sacramento County. And you may recall me talking about one of the emphasis of this program is consumer protections. And we work hard with our dealerships to ensure that they are working on these consumer protections constantly and really making sure that our participants in getting in a vehicle that works well for them. And with this customer service, it's causing a surge of clientele base and an increase for our dealerships. The dealers are instrumental in increasing plug-in technology vehicle use in Sac County and improving air quality, and we couldn't do this program without their help. We currently have 29 dealerships, and we would love to see that rise and get all the dealerships in Sac County to be a part of our program. Next slide, please. So a little bit about our partnerships and additional benefits of the program. I'll start with Sacramento Regional Transit and our clean mobility option. So this clean mobility option, we've had several participants that have received the maximum award, which is $9,500. But even with this maximum grant award amount, they still can't afford to purchase a vehicle. So what this clean mobility option would allow is for those participants to scrap their vehicle and forget their vehicle. They would get a card with $7,500, up to $7,500 on it, and they would be able to use that card for any Sacramento Regional Transit services, such as Smart Ride, Light Rail, the bus, and can also be used with any Sacramento Regional Transit partners, such as YOLO Bus. Another partnership we have is with SMUD. So SMUD is really helping to break down some of the barriers for electric vehicle infrastructure. One of the biggest barriers is the cost associated with it. And so what SMUD is doing is they are working with our Clean Cars for All participants that are homeowners or renters and going into their homes and installing this electric vehicle infrastructure at no upfront or out-of-pocket cost to the participants. SMUD is using their in-kind dollars to pay for this. And then they are also invoicing us, and we as the district can then pay up to $2,000 for these installations with the Clean Cars for All funds. Now with this, they are also, excuse me, educating our participants on how to charge their vehicle and have it be most cost effective. And so SMUD is auto enrolling our participants in their electric time of date vehicle charging rate. This happens from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. and our participants get a discount of 1.5 cent per kilowatt hour to charge their vehicle during this time. Currently, there are 108 of our participants that are in various stages of this installation process with SMUD. 13 have been installed successfully, are in use, and have been invoiced. And again, these installations are happening throughout Sacramento County. One of the other things that SMUD is doing is they're working with all of our participants on two other programs that they offer. One is their low income assistance program, also known as their EPR program. This allows for the overall reduction in costs for electricity generation in the home itself. And then they also educate our participants on their weatherization program. Again, offers free services and allows them to be educated on how to reduce the overall consumption of electricity within the home. Now, for those participants that can't or do not want to install electric vehicle infrastructure, the district is working with a networked EV infrastructure provider to provide charging credits to our participants. So everybody gets to be a part of the electricity and not be left out. And with that being said, our program is not just about getting a clean vehicle. It's really the whole package. They get a clean vehicle, they get educated on how to charge it, and we give them access to the electric charging infrastructure. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Rafe Porter so he can cover the last slide. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. And Virginia, if you can move to the next slide. Good morning, Chair Guerin, members of the board. I'm Rafe Porter, Transportation and Climate Change Program Manager. Cindy did a great job of highlighting the successes of the program and why it's important to our region. Things such as providing reliable transportation to our residents, pumping money into our economy, and of course, cleaning up the air that we all breathe. But now, unfortunately, I have to be the bearer of a little bit of bad news and give a little bit of a reality check. There has been some challenges in getting this program to this point, and we continue to face challenges in further delivering the program. Earlier, Cindy mentioned a few of these, such as the shortage of new and used vehicles in the marketplace, as well as the increased cost of these vehicles. We've probably all read stories about what this actually means. What it means from our staff is that we're spending a lot more time working with the participants in the dealerships in order to conduct these sales and make sure that we're meeting the needs of the program. COVID has also slowed things down quite a bit, both in the delivery of the vehicles, which is why there's a shortage, but also in just delivering of our program. And we need to spend more and more time and again, making sure that we're delivering every aspect of this. These and other issues have resulted in increased staff resources in order to deliver this program. So it's become very expensive to get the program up and running. We've also faced some other challenges that many other employers are facing during these times, and that's a shortage in staffing. Just this month alone, our division has lost 2 employees. One of those comes from the Clean Cars for All program. And this year alone, we've lost 2 additional employees, one just being last month. And I say all this because it just highlights the issues that we're faced with. And we're not really able to shift staff resources around because we do have to deliver on the other programs that our division is seeing. Unlike many other air districts that are delivering Clean Cars for All programs throughout the state, they don't really have this problem. They're able to take the small amount of administration funds that the state gives and use other revenue to supplement the program. We're small and we're nimble and we do a great job of delivering this and other programs, but we just don't have that same luxury that these larger air districts have. We do a great job, but it's been on a shoestring budget to get it to this point. We've been working really hard internally to fill these gaps, and thanks to Jamil and her team for helping us, start to get some hires on board. But more importantly, we've been working with our funding partners at ARB to see what kind of flexibility we can get from them on delivering this program. They've been open to having these tough conversations and working with us to find that solution. However, to this date, we haven't actually reached a resolution. And more importantly, we've been told that not delivering on this program could jeopardize future cap and trade funds. And unfortunately, we took this as both a reminder, but also as a threat from ARB. So we'll continue to work tirelessly to deliver this program, but we do want to highlight these issues to you, and we're open to any feedback and direction that the board may give. So thanks, and I'll turn it over back to the chair.
Thank you, Rafe. Appreciate that. And I always appreciate the reality check because we have to make sure that as we're moving forward, we're being also cognizant of what it actually takes to do this work. Let me start off on the positive end, though. For many of us who have low-income families, I know in my terms, we call them, carcanchas, but the junker, the hoopty, the clunker, the rust bucket, all of those, if anyone has had workers whose car breaks down, he can't get to work, completely unreliable. You never know if your car is going to start in the morning. Just the impact to people getting rid of those and seeing what their life is like by replacing it with a car that has less maintenance to deal with. That has been a very positive experience, because we know that housing and transportation costs are the two number one issues for getting people out of poverty and into some level of financial stability. So on the transportation side, this program has been helpful for a lot of people, because, correct me if I'm wrong here, Rafe, but a person can get up to $9,500 for a new electric vehicle. Is that correct, Rafe?
That's correct. New or used.
New or used. And so, and not only that, but there are also other rebates that people can apply where you can layer these supports. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, but it does take, I think, to Rafe's point here, I want to make sure that the board knows is that for folks who are trying to understand all of these rebates, there's a lot of hand-holding that it goes on to do that, because most folks who are in this circumstance don't have the time to research, to understand all the minutia that's involved. On the positive side, though, I will say, during COVID, again, this air agency helped a lot of our local businesses stay afloat through this program. So there's positives and negatives there as well. This is a receive and file, but let me, before I pass it over to the board, I want to ask the board clerk to see if we have any members of the public signed up to speak.
We don't have any comments.
Great, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Let me bring it back to the board. Last I'll say is, I know for many parts of our region where we have very poor public transit and a vehicle is almost essential to get to work, I think getting people into a reliable, clean vehicle has been a positive thing. Board Member Laloy, I saw your mic unmute.
Yes, quick question. So there's a $9,500 rebate, and then I know Reef pointed out other rebates. Could you please share with us what those other rebates are so we can let our constituents know?
Yeah, there's the state has rebates, and Member Laloy, we'll make sure to package those up and send them off. So between what we offer, what the state offers, as well as SMUD through their various programs, whether they come through Clean Cars for All or not, they offer a lot of the things that Cindy talked about, rebates on the infrastructure, as well as the time of use rate for electricity. So we can package that up and make sure that we get that off to all members of the board, so they can work with their constituents on what we and others offer as well.
I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafe. I think that'd be helpful. If there's something that's easy where we can plug and play into our newsletters, and even into, many of us have like Facebook or social media apps. I think SMUD's doing a rebate for the charging stations or charging infrastructure. So if we can just package that way we get that information out, that'd be greatly appreciated. And with that, if there are let me see if there are any other hands raised. If not, we'll move on to our last discussion item before we get into closed session here.
I have one more question, Mr. Chair.
Oh yes, go ahead.
On this 9,500 new or used, it has to be through a dealership, or can it be through a private party? Because as you indicated, some dealerships are extremely short on used cars, so there's private sales. Can this money be applied to that also, this $9,500?
Unfortunately not at this time. We have, and Cindy probably has the exact number, but we do have approved dealers that need to work through it. And largely that's just to work on the administrative piece. However, we have told the participants that if they find a vehicle out there that is at a dealership that is not part of our program, we're happy to work with that dealership to make sure that they are a member or are allowed, so that the sale of that vehicle can go through. I think unfortunately right now we can't do it with private parties, though it does need to be an actual dealership. And Cindy, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else onto that.
No, that is correct. And unfortunately, we can only do it through the dealerships, but part of that is to ensure the consumer protections as well. So we do have to go through the dealerships. But again, we've had several participants who have found vehicles at dealerships, and we worked with them, and we've been able to onboard them with dealers. So what Rafe said is true. We gladly welcome more dealerships to be a part of our program.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Great program. I know a number of us board members met with the ARB chair, urging them to look at the costs associated with this to put this program together. So we'll keep that fight going. Seeing no hands raised, Madam Clerk, let's move on to our next discussion item.
And that will be item 5, wildfire smoke and air pollution emergency plan by Amy Roberts.
Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Chair Guerra and Board of Directors. I'll wait for just a minute while Virginia pulls up the slide. Thank you. My name is Amy Roberts, Division Manager here for the Stationary Source Division, overseeing permitting and compliance activities here at the district. Today, I will provide you with an interim update on AB 661 and the wildfire smoke air pollution emergency plan that is being developed by the district. This presentation continues the conversation that we started at our last board meeting, and given recent impacts from wildfire smoke in the region, will serve as a timely update for all board members on the helpful tools and resources available during these events. Virginia, next slide, please. So with quick background, AB 661 was adopted in October 2019 in response to experiences during the Camp Fire in 2018. Schools, residents, and employers all grappled with what to do and where to get information and how to make decisions during those many days of unhealthy air. AB 661 provided the legislative mandate for the Air District to create a wildfire smoke air pollution emergency plan for Sacramento County. This pilot plan stimulates improved coordination and communication among local agencies and will serve as guidance for everyone in our county during these smoke events on how to stay informed, take action, and reduce exposure to unhealthy air conditions. Next slide, please. By design, AB 661 requires that we work hand in hand with our county public health department. Our public health officer's expertise is essential for the plan to be rooted in sound health guidance. And of course, during smoke events, input and direction from our public health team is absolutely critical. Next slide, please. Beyond our key partner in public health, the district works with many other partners and stakeholders during the plan development. Some are explicitly called out in the language of AB 661, like our offices of emergency services, school districts, the Regional Planning Agency, and California Air Resources Board. We have brought other stakeholders to the table too, including businesses and other city and county officials, to make sure we are getting diverse feedback from a broad spectrum of viewpoints. Next slide, please. Very briefly, let me review the 4 main elements that need to be included in the emergency plan. First of all, it must, very importantly, provide health protective recommendations and guidelines to the public, schools, and others to use during wildfire smoke events. It must clearly lay out the roles and responsibilities of various agencies so that everyone understands where to get information and who to contact. The plan must also include best practices for businesses and public agencies. And lastly, the plan must also provide recommended strategies to help reduce smoke exposure to those that are most vulnerable to wildfire smoke. Next slide, please. While the full plan is still being completed, the district has various resources already available. We have a dedicated webpage that contains wildfire smoke information and useful tools, such as the 5-step planning guide you see on this slide, along with air quality action charts, which I'll share with you in just a minute. We've also been coordinating with our partners on standardized public outreach and messaging tools, and are seeking to create other resources like training videos and standardized training sessions that can help get our schools and others ready and prepared to deal with smoke impacts when a future event happens. And very importantly, during actual smoke events, the district is at the ready to provide guidance and information related to air quality forecasts and expected smoke impacts to assist our local agencies in making decisions. Next slide, please. Here's an example of the resources created specifically for our school districts to help them decide what steps to take when air quality deteriorates. The chart on the left is an example of what we call an air quality action chart. We also have provided a quick reference guide with phone numbers, website links, and recommendations on where to find air quality information. Next slide, please. We have also developed similar air quality action charts for public agencies and businesses that will be finalized in the near future. Next slide, please. In creating these air quality action charts and other plan elements, We have collaborated with our public agency and business stakeholders in a very targeted way. Thanks to the great work of Breathe California, who is assisting us in the plan development, one of the methods used was an online survey sent to approximately 100 local businesses, nonprofits, and public agency representatives. The survey results provide us valuable feedback on how these sectors respond when wildfire smoke impacts our region, what challenges they have faced, and how they reduce employee exposure to smoke. Beyond this anonymous survey, we've also met directly with other businesses and offices of emergency services throughout the county and cities to again get feedback on our draft tools and resources. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier, we are drafting outreach items and public messaging templates for use by the district and others. Similar to the already available flyer on the right-hand side of this slide, we will have additional items that could include tip cards, flyers, training videos, and other air quality action charts for residents. Next slide, please. And while the emergency plan is being finalized, you all know wildfires have not waited. Since the passage of AB 661, there have been 2 significant wildfire seasons, one in 2020 last year and now again in 2021. With our goal of collaboration and joint communication, we have been working closely with our partners to respond to requests to discuss air quality conditions and review currently available tools and resources when requested to do so. Specifically during this past August, when parts of the county experienced unhealthy air due to the Dixie, Caldor, and Northern California fires, district staff, along with our public health counterparts, met with the Folsom Cordova School District, Folsom City officials, Sacramento County Office of Education, and other county agencies to provide guidance on school and event cancellation decisions and review available decision-making tools. We also met with City of Sacramento officials to discuss smoke impacts on vulnerable populations. And we definitely welcome continued dialogue when needed. Next slide,
Mr.
please.
Chair, can I ask a quick question on that?
Yes, Board Member Terry, go ahead.
The school closing decisions, I know we haven't done that this year, but in past years, there was a decision made, I want to say it was Elk Grove Unified and probably a few others. And I know ones that are impacted by evacuations and things like that are one thing, but what kind of thought process goes into telling kids to stay home in likely worse ventilation systems than we have in most of our schools? Is there any, or what is the thought process in us consulting with school districts and making those decisions?
I will go ahead and start. Thank you for the question. I know that it's a very delicate decision for all school districts when they're considering that, for that very reason, that they're evaluating their own school populations and they're evaluating what the situation may be, just as you've said, at home versus in school. And so I know that it's not an easy thing for them to decide. What we have done in our consultation is basically to give them that information, the best information available, the best forecasted information. For example, the air quality action chart that I've mentioned. If you look specifically on that chart, there is an AQI level where, and it's set at 200, but they could make those decisions sooner than that. But that's really when you get into the unhealthy levels and above is when they start to ask those questions of, is it time that it's actually better for us to send these children home, not have them walk to school, be bussed in? There's definitely those kinds of decisions that happen throughout the day. And again, we're not making those decisions for them, but we're trying to give them that information about how that air quality will deteriorate, how long that might last for them to be able to make the best decision. I don't know if Dr. Ayala, if you'd like to add anything else to that.
Thank you, Amy. Thanks for the question, Director Terry. I'll just simply echo what Amy's saying. And I think what I like about where we are today is the schools know who to go to. And we are working very closely with public health to make sure that we give them the information. Thankfully, we have resources and tools that allow us to understand much better how air pollution may be bad in one part of a district and maybe a little bit better in another part of the district. So we get into those sorts of discussions, but obviously we are very careful not to suggest that we're making the decision on behalf of the superintendents. For the very reasons that you're raising, because they know their kids and the conditions that they are going to be put into. And we've seen the level of comfort from the school administrators go up simply because they know that they have our support when it comes to interpreting the information. The charts are obviously useful, but frankly, I mean, we still have quite a bit in terms of getting into the explanation of, you know, what the AQI means, what color, you know, applies to them versus this or that. So I think just being there as a resource to interpret the information, to provide the perspective of what's happening today and tomorrow is what the school administrators have appreciated. But ultimately, whether to close or not is their decision.
Yeah, no, and the more you describe our role, I think my question's more of a public health question, which is how does public health determine where is the healthier place, right? I was on the Sac City School Board. We had much older schools, and I know they've even talked about ventilation issues with COVID and going back to school. But then you have a district like Elk Grove that sends 60,000 students home, when in some communities, their school is going to be a safer place for that kid to be all day than at home in the event of a fire. But no, I appreciate the answer. And yeah, I think I need to do a little bit more homework with public health and maybe the school districts in our city. But thank you.
And to your point, if I can just add quickly, invariably, and Amy touched on this, there is going to be a role for residents. And what I mean by that is obviously the parents who are looking at developing resources so that parents and family members and the kids themselves have the information, because they have to be part of the conversation, right? I mean, to your point, there is no way the public health is going to have an understanding of every kid in the county and their situation. But I think, again, the school administrators, the teachers, the principals are going to be better equipped to engage with their families and make those decisions.
Thank you, Board Member
Terry,
for that question. And thank you, Amy and Dr. Ayala, for the follow-up on that. Amy.
Right. So on this slide, Dr. Ayala kind of touched upon it, that there are resources to find out what that air quality is very near you. So this is one of the best resources we like to highlight in all of our stakeholder meetings. This important tool was developed a couple of years ago by the EPA. It's the Fire and Smoke Map. So this tool provides that local look at air quality conditions. It provides AQI readings from both regulatory monitors and community-based and personal sensors. The map also provides useful information, including smoke plume visualization that you can see there on the slide, fire information when you click on the links, air quality trends and historical conditions. So it's a really useful place to go. And I encourage all of you to check this website out if you haven't done so. And also consider downloading the EPA AirNow mobile application. You can also gain access to this there too. And I would encourage you when you're talking with your constituents about wildfire smoke, that you can let them know about this tool so they can stay informed, because conditions during wildfire smoke, they change rapidly. So it's great to have this available to check out where you are at and what your conditions are. Next slide, please. All right, and just to wrap up the presentation, here's a quick look at the expected timeline for completing the wildfire smoke air pollution emergency plan. We are currently getting additional feedback at this moment from city and county officials on element 4 of the plan to gain additional insights on the strategies for helping vulnerable populations during wildfire smoke events. We're also working to finalize those outreach tools and develop other training resources. We expect to finalize the emergency plan in the first part of 2022. Our final steps will be to seek your adoption of the plan in spring of 2022 and also fulfill our requirement under AB 661 by presenting a final report to the legislature. With that, I am happy to answer any of your additional questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Amy. Madam Clerk, any members of the public signed up to speak on this item?
There are none.
Great, thank you. Let me bring it back to the board here. Any questions from the board on this item here? Seeing none there, let me just say thank you, Amy, for that. I encourage our board members to also look at that AirNow, the EPA AirNow interactive map. If you look at it today, you'll see Citrus Heights and North Highlands are in the most dramatic air quality situation. And I think, you know, with that and the work that Rancho Cordova recently did, that this air district is doing, We will be deploying more air monitors. We're helping the public understand their conditions. Unfortunately, this is going to be a natural occurrence. So the more information we provide the public and the interaction between our agencies, it's helping us get quicker and faster response for better decision making. So seeing no further questions, I just want to thank all the staff for this. This is our last discussion item before we go into closed session here. With that, Madam Clerk, any comments from the public on matters not on the agenda?
No.
Great, thank you. Any comments from the board or AB 1234 reports? Seeing none. Well, I want to thank everyone again. We're want to try to keep our quorum here. So let's move on to the closed session here. Madam Clerk, I think we're going to get a little blue button to go into the closed session room. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, board members, and we'll be back. For those in the public, we'll be back to adjourn the meeting. But for members of the board, we're going to go into adjourn into closed session at 9:51. You should be receiving a notification with a little blue room to say join room 1. So we'll see you there. And let me go over to council here. Council, Kathy, do we have anything to report out?
No, we don't. There was no action requested and no action taken.
Very good. Thank you very much. With that, I do want to thank the staff and all our viewers. Again, I have to take this opportunity to say Clean Air Day is coming up October 6th. Join the pledge and participate. Everyone can do their part to help our clean air. With that, we are adjourned at 9:59 a.m. with a minute to spare there. So thank you all. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you.